But yeah, how you guys been? You been good?
Been good, man. Been chilling. Been doing a lot of Destiny.
Well, I heard you guys did something this week.
Yeah.
Something important. Was it last week or this week?
It's been nonstop.
I missed you.
For Trip especially.
But
Yeah,
the raid came out last week, though.
The whole Shadowkeep expansion, new Destiny expansion, brand new content, and an entire rebuilding of the armor system in addition to the new content, and seasonal passes and updates and battle pass, free to play, all this shit, dude, hit on October 1st. Switch from Blizzard to Steam.
Yeah, that was when Shadowkeep launched. It had massive issues with people getting on.
A couple hours after launch, yeah, everyone was getting anteater errors, which is essentially they can't connect to the server.
And honestly, out of all game launches, I understood this because as an independent studio now, Bungie had to juggle a lot of balls in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially.
100%.
They were moving save files. They were adding cross-save. They were relaunching a DLC expansion that was fundamentally changing the game, and they moved platforms.
And they introduced an entire new pathway for players to play the game for free.
Yeah, they essentially rebuilt the game from the ground up for new people.
It's really good.
And it's fantastic because now people on our Discord, people who've never played Destiny before, are jumping into the first time because it's accessible to them.
Discord is exploding, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If you guys have not, join the Emerging Gamer Discord.
Yes, sir. It is growing Destiny people by the day.
Yeah.
By the minute.
That's great.
It's true.
Because people are watching you attempt world's first.
Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's not any one thing. There's so many things happening.
People want people to play with.
At the end of the day, yeah, it's support its community, and we also are a community that does things that the average community maybe necessarily doesn't. Like we have experience and run day ones with all the raids. We do really challenging content. We do challenges. We do low man challenges. We do just flawlesses. It just people don't have that reach normally, and if they're looking for somewhere to play and somewhere to game and people to meet, it's becoming a place to do that, which is sick.
I would say we're pretty damn welcoming.
We're pretty good, dude.
Yeah. Do we just want to jump right in and talk about the experience of that?
We definitely could.
I'm not going to stop you guys from talking about that.
Yeah.
You want to.
Let's do it.
It feels like the right moment right
I'll
now.
talk about my horse shit later.
Cool.
Horse shit.
It really is not as interesting as what you guys are going to talk about.
Well, Trip, then why don't you start by talking about your day one experience, not playing Shadowkeep, but getting in the raid? Do you want to talk about the raid?
Sure. We can definitely
Because
talk
that
about
was
the
kind
raid,
of a huge deal because everyone was racing to get the world first.
Yeah. It's pretty standard for a Destiny day one raid experience, right? Like it's everyone prepares for whatever amount of time you have during the week or the day before that raid launches. Then the raid drops, everyone hops in and tries to be the first one to beat it. Tries to figure out the mechanics blind, try to run.
Trenches, man.
The whole entire Emerging Gamer squad was in there, dude. It was sick.
I'm so proud of you guys. I was watching.
We didn't clear.
I saw you were playing with Jeezum.
A different run of the new raid.
Oh, okay.
Who was your A team?
The day one team was myself, Diamond Jeb, Andy, SR2, Abrupt, Night Brezzy, and Squeegee from the Ball Boys. We actually had a Ball Boys substitute in
Not
there
Vizzy
last
this
second.
time.
Not Vizzy. No.
Usually it's Vizzy.
Vizzy, I think, was running with the Ball Boys primary squad, so they were going. We had the line of conversation was interesting the days leading up to it because certain people from the last experience didn't necessarily want to commit to
That was me.
running all day.
Yeah. Well, I just couldn't.
Sure.
It
wasn't just you, though. It was a lot of people that
Yeah.
they were like, you know what, this is not the experience that I want out of the game, which is totally fine, understandable. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of work, a lot of preparation, essentially, going up to it.
I would not have been able to handle that pressure. Just so you know.
I believe you.
You agree.
Yeah. It's a lot, dude.
You literally have to be super patient and be ready to be in there for 8+ hours.
Hey, I'm not.
We played for, I think, 13 before we were like...
You will fail countless amount of times.
Yeah.
And it is very much like you're
It's why when you talk about going through some of these loops of your challenges in the game, I'm like, well, you've only been at that for like an hour or two, dude. Like, just you're still learning it. You're learning all the ins and outs.
Oh yeah, I get super frustrated really fast.
Yeah, you can't literally can't live that way.
And it's not good for playing with other people. That's why I primarily do not gravitate towards multiplayer games.
Sure.
especially when there's stakes.
Yeah. Yep.
No way.
So what was different and interesting this time for this raid race is it's the second time that they've used their contest modifier, which is Destiny capping your power at specific levels for the entire raid encounter. For whatever amount of encounters there are, you, no matter how high and how powerful your character actually is, you'll be capped at the same power as everyone else participating in that raid. It keeps it, I think you're about 20 levels under whatever specific encounter level. Because in a raid, the challenge goes up as you progress through the raid. So about every encounter goes up about 5 or 10 levels, power levels for your character. So I think they kept players about 20 under progressively throughout that entire raid.
And this was only for the first weekend?
For the first 24 hours. Contest
24 hours,
exists,
okay.
yeah. After that, everything is back to normal. Totally fine. You can get your clears.
So I experienced a very different raid than the day one raid.
You did.
Okay.
Overall. I think you were actually on contest power. Like for the final boss, you were what, 918, 919?
I was 920,
So
which
that-
was before that delta because I couldn't push myself.
So
to
for the
21.
final boss, you were playing at contest power. So that's what it would have felt like day one. You were overleveled for the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay.
We would have effectively have been 890 for the first encounter on Saturday, on day one. The game would have recognized us as 890, even if we were all 920 or plus.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's how they do that, to keep everyone checked power-wise.
Okay.
So at that point, it just becomes about who can solve the puzzles, who can figure out the mechanics, who can execute as a team and get past and get through to the next encounter. It puts the focus on solving and teamwork over I'm a streamer and I had 30 hours to prepare. That's why I'm more powerful. That's why I can beat this. So I think it's a really positive change and a great way to implement a race.
Cool. It puts everyone on the same playing field almost.
They did this for the first time in June for Crown of Sorrow for the last expansion before this one.
I don't think I played that one. I think I was out of the game.
I think you were. Yeah, you haven't come back for that for sure. That was the first time they introduced contest modifier, but that released the same day the expansion dropped. So everyone was rushing to prep 6 hours before the raid to get as powerful as possible
sounds awful.
for the raid. So what they did this time is dropped on a Tuesday, and they played the raid on a Saturday. In the past, the raids have been on a Friday, maybe, like some other weekday, like a Friday or a Thursday, something like that. So every year, something different, and this is the first time it's been a Saturday raid with contest modifier with plenty of days to prep for it. So it felt really good, really healthy from a player perspective, if that makes sense.
Very cool.
Just
Very
a good environment to be in, because there were players that were leveling up like crazy for Shadowkeep, because there's a lot of new methods and new ways to grow your character.
There's as a new person returning to the game, there's literally any activity you can possibly think of to do that you could do, you get benefit from.
Yep.
And it's kind of crazy how I can just pick whatever activity I want and get whatever I want out of it. That seems like how they want to.
There's the
people to
armor
get
system
it out of the game.
now. You can literally customize your armor with specific perks, whatever you want to be on your armor. You can run those armor sets and those armor pieces.
Yeah, very
it's
cool.
endless customization for what you need for your encounters.
Running the raid with you guys was the first night I actually played with it because I didn't want to mess with my armor until I was going into the raid.
Right.
So that night, that's my prepping was.
I remember you were asking, you're like, what should I put on my on my pieces? Yeah,
Exactly. So
but
I was spending all my currencies.
What's nice is you don't actually lose any of that stuff. Like you can apply those mods you have to any armor pieces endlessly and replace them endlessly.
It costs glimmer.
It costs glimmer, but you get glimmer for doing anything. Glimmer's like the money, like the dollars in Destiny world.
Yeah.
It's endless customization. You don't get penalized for trying things out because you can just replace
Leveling up a piece of gear though to fit more mods on, which isn't part of the Armor 2.0 system.
Everything's going to have a cost.
That's
going
to cost legendary shards, which you get from dismantling purples and higher.
The more you increase that piece, the more currencies it'll take. It won't just be legendary shards. It'll eventually be enhancement cores, then enhancement prisms, and then they brought back ascendant shards,
which I saw
from Destiny 1. Yeah.
So you get those because then those are another thing you have to collect and get. So those enhancement cores now are still gained by. Oh God,
they used to be very, very, very sparse getting enhancement cores, but now there's a really good economy for it.
You also needed them to feed other guns into guns.
You needed them to masterwork your weapons and your armor pre-Shadowkeep, which you still kind of do at lower levels, but now it's much more of almost its own currency versus a rare resource you put into something specifically.
I'm really glad they made it easier to infuse my guns, because now I can run the gunsmith dude has bounties now.
He does, yeah.
Which will give you these upgrade cores.
Yep.
And those will let me, and it's a lot easier for me to keep my favorite guns and bring them into my
it's definitely
my
not as punishing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really appreciate that because the enhancement cores were kind of a bitch before.
They were
the last year to
they were hard to get to.
And like I had to like go bye my favorite guns. I have to use these other guns. You know, like that made me really sad. But now I'm not sad anymore.
I'm glad, dude. I'm glad you're having a great time.
It's pretty fun.
I was sad, but now I'm not.
But do you have more? You want to talk about with your day one experience?
Yeah. I mean, I think we, like I said, we played for about roughly 13 or so hours.
Wow.
In there, and then eventually, Andy had to call it quits because him being a UK player, he is definitely at a time disadvantage, and it was very, very, very early for him in the morning.
How late was it for him?
Did he just log off and go to work?
I think he might have gotten a little bit of sleep, but. Do I have a London time? So right now it's 12:30 in London. That's 5 hours ahead. So
no, I knew how many hours, but
I didn't. I had to double check.
I was just wondering when you guys were wrapping up.
It was either 6 or 7 in the morning for him.
Yeah.
When
that's crazy.
When he had to be like, I gotta go.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Which is very understandable, 100%.
So did you all call it quits there?
Yeah, we did. We did. Sat around for a little bit. I kind of like reflected on the experience.
You got held up at the last encounter.
I went back in. We didn't make it to the last encounter ourselves. I went to I tried to go to sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like,
You had too much adrenaline.
I was like,
pumping through your veins.
Like, I feel like I really want to get this 24-hour completion.
I bet you did. Yeah.
So hopped onto the there's an LFG Discord. Hopped into the Destiny's LFG Discord and played with a couple different groups, getting eventually all the way to the end and trying a couple rotations of that final boss.
How did those guys go for you?
We didn't finish, but we got pretty close.
Nice.
This though is the moment that leads into a little bit of controversy that Bungie had about that day one race. As I was doing rotations, this was about maybe 11:30 or so, 11:30 of the day after of Sunday morning, right? So we're almost 24 hours awake at this point, playing this shit, playing the final encounter. The servers go down.
Oh no!
The entire game, servers are down. So we're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, but Bungie, I think I remember this. Bungie came out and was like, look, we know this was a problem. We're going to extend this.
So here's what happened. If you complete it in 24 hours at Contest Power, you can wear an emblem. They create a special emblem for all these contests, and wearing the emblem in game would tell players, holy shit, this gamer beat this shit at Contest Power, at Check Power, within a day. That's nuts. Good for them. Because of the server problems, Bungie said, we've extended the contest, the ability to earn the emblem. We've extended it for 2 hours. So you had until 3 p.m. on Sunday to earn that emblem instead of 1 p.m. Problem is, there's 2 problems here. One, they didn't even tweet or communicate this until 4 p.m. Eastern that day, an hour after it would have been done. 2, they didn't extend the contest modifier. So the raid was immediately
more difficult.
Easy.
Easy.
Oh. Because everyone is being power checked, but everyone was far above the actual power level because of all the preparation, all the serious teams,
so
right?
Then what happened?
People were clearing it, and it was easy. And they got their finishes.
Didn't a console
I'm sure there were console clears in there as well.
Like I think they got who got the world first?
World first was PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna shit on console too much, but there's no way a console will ever get a world's first. Honestly.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
So people were getting these clears, and it's not just the fact that the power, your player power went back up unchecked. There were guns that are currently a little bit bugged and a little bit broken in the game that were disabled for the raid. So all those guns were now undisabled because contest was done. Mm-hmm. So players could have burned through this raid insanely fast, beaten bosses in ways that were not allowed during contest, and cleared it essentially with very little challenge.
Is that what I experienced? Just a nice, easy, breezy raid clear?
Essentially, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, that explains a lot.
That was very breezy. That was breezy as shit.
I do want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Briefly, but
sure.
Go on.
So that's why people were upset. They were saying, now there's no integrity to this emblem. Because I don't know if this is someone who beat it at hour 8 or if it's someone who beat it at hour 22 by, There's a cheese with one gun where you can, if you hurt yourself with the gun while you hurt the boss, depending on the amount of frames your computer has, it multiplies the damage.
Holy moly!
Can I ask a question?
You could do that, but no one will know if you're just wearing the emblem. So to end that whole story, Bungie then a couple hours later again said, we reassessed, we're not extending it. Like, we apologize that there were connection issues, but for the integrity of the contest, people who earned it after 1 p.m. will not be getting the emblem. And honestly, the vast majority of players, gamers, winning or not winning the emblem, were like, this is the right move.
I'd say so.
Okay.
There were streamers like King Gathalion and Professor Roman. They refused to wear it because they earned it right after it, but they refused to wear the emblem if they were to get it.
The thing that I was thinking was that the other way they could have done it is they could have released an additional emblem that went to the people who got it in
the 12-hour mark.
The short amount of time.
They could have, yeah. That's a lot of design work, though.
Right.
Demanding on your dev team.
Yeah, they would have had to do more work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And the raid jacket, which is a reward for completing it in a certain time. What was the length of time required to earn that?
You actually still have the ability to earn that. You have until this reset. So this coming Tuesday,
so you got everyone
the 15th.
Gets pretty much a full week in a couple days.
Yeah. This is the longest the jacket window has ever been. Usually it's the first reset after the raid.
And when do you need to order that jacket by?
You need to claim your code before reset this Tuesday, and then you have until the end of the month to order.
Did you already say what professional names were on the team that won?
I did not. The team that ran was a relatively unknown team of speedrunners. They're known in their circles, right? But they aren't Team Redeem. They aren't, Glad.
Yeah.
Professor Broman with my
dad.
Had
you heard of them?
Before this raid race, I had not heard of them. No.
Oh, okay.
But we can go and pull up the stats right here. The Crown of Sorrow raid race in June also had a team of speedrunners win. Some of those I had heard of. Yeah, the actual world first clearing team on Crown of this one, Garden of Salvation. X-Black, Antivist, Cyber, Pash, Narsul, and Monks. These are actually a team
never heard of any of them.
They're primarily European. I was watching some of their footage of them figuring out the final encounter.
Time was 6 hour, 14 minute.
Yep.
Wow, they beat the second place by 2 minutes.
This is one of the closest raid races that has ever happened.
Holy shit,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then
I'm looking
this is this is an alt redeem team. Alt redeem team got 3. Everyone's favorite nuts gamers. Where were they? We're 12th.
Oh man,
Glad, Modern, Chevy, Swetzicle, all this stuff. I mean, this is still
pretty good.
Still nuts. But think about it. Look at this, dude. Clear 1 was 6 hours. Clear 12 was 11.5 hours.
Where was Gathali and those guys?
They didn't clear day 1.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
Shit is hard with the contest, dude. Shit is actually legitimately hard.
That's good.
Which is why there's value to the emblem, which is why there was controversy about them saying people can get it who were just in there 2 hours after and burning this boss with whatever method they had available to them.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That
so
sucks.
They did the right thing, essentially.
Good.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing the raid this weekend. This is just briefly what I'm doing. And I watched the 24-hour of stream of you guys messing. I'm not messing. Just playing the raid. Playing the raid.
Yeah, learning, rotating, just getting practice.
I had you on the background, like
Sure.
as I was doing other things. Like I peeked over, just watching you guys sweat it out and in the trenches. And I played last night, and let me tell you, it was like I had my joggers on, and I was just cruising through this raid.
Cruising through, man.
And I was expecting, honestly, to really be challenged, but man, that was like granted, you gave me some real easy ass tasks to do in the raid, and I wasn't trying to, because there were some people in the raid still trying to get their clears.
Yes.
They wanted the jacket.
Yeah.
Right? And
You guys did this together?
Yeah.
We did one. Yeah. I've ran this 4 times this week, getting people through that haven't finished it. So.
Trip's a mad G for doing this.
Sherpering everyone, dude.
And I was having fun with it. I love experiencing the raids. Those for me are like the top tier content of how they design their things.
Yep.
And they had a cool mechanic in there that was pretty much used the whole raid, which was the tether mechanic.
The tethering mechanic, yeah.
And we had some fun moments that night, just messing around with that thing.
That's fun, dude.
I liked it, and I could tell there was a theme going on throughout the raid.
It's the most gorgeous raid they've ever done. The raid is in the Black Garden, Felix.
I love the Black
Remember
Garden.
the end of the mission of Destiny 1?
Fuck
This
yeah.
entire
Yeah, I
raid
remember
is in the Black Garden.
I love the Black
Would you love to see some pictures from it? I have some
sure.
in my
Show me some.
Felix,
Discord
I
right
cannot understate to you how gorgeous this game is on PC. It is stunningly breathtaking.
Yeah.
How it like looks, like walking through these environments like this. It's just so weird to me coming off of, like, let's say what we'll talk about in a bit, Borderlands 3. Like, man, this game still looks good even though it came out in 2016. Like, I'm so impressed how they here, Felix, he's showing you
Here's some right here.
Look at that.
We
It's purty.
We cleared that thing, dude. We pretty much first tried every.
We first
boss.
tried every encounter except the very, very first encounter because we were learning the tether.
Yeah, we were just like.
Was that a shot of that final boss fight area?
No.
Do you ever go through that?
That is a skybox, but damn, it looks great.
Remember the Black Garden had like a maze
Yeah,
or something?
There's kind of a semi-maze.
Go through that maze?
There was a little.
This
there
was.
a
I
little
mean,
mazes.
we're in these channels. Like these channels that you see. Like there are areas that are where you're in there essentially.
But throughout the whole raid, we pretty much one-shot every encounter except for the first one, which we were just getting our feet wet with the new team, with this team.
Yep.
And we even first shot the last boss. Kind of, because we jumped the gun with the encounter when we first arrived there, and you were explaining it as the encounter was happening.
That truly doesn't count because people were loading in, so we had to wipe to enable them to do like the ammo getting and the rally and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that truly, no bullshit, truly wasn't
after
a real
you
attempt.
did the full explanation, and then we started the encounter. Boom, we just did it.
That final boss of this raid is one of the most engaged I've ever had to have been. Probably outside of Kingsfall with Oryx, all the things you have to do.
Because every player has a specific job to do. Like
and
everyone has things to do.
It is the weight of the entire team, whatever your job is doing.
Yeah, and you can't just float through
if someone fucks up, it's not a very carryable raid. Someone is not just chilling there, getting a completion. Like everyone has to put the work in and do the right things, or else it all falls apart.
You gave me an easy job, but still,
You had to not die.
You
had to not lose any of those motes. You had to deposit at the right time. You had to kill the people with shields. I don't think it was.
Oh yeah, you paired me up with our highest light level dude. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It's all about the averages. The other people that I paired together were higher than you and lower than him. But if you average those numbers out, power wise, they're about the same.
Okay, cool.
I did a little bit of mental math here.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time in that.
I'm glad, dude. Yeah.
And I don't know how long I'll be back on the Destiny bandwagon because like Death Stranding is coming out. I know I'm gonna be like, but for right now though, I'm enjoying all the new players coming in for free. You know, like the free players. I can play with like Rowan's getting in there and he's just doing the free.
You can definitely
free
wreck
play
shit in
mode.
Crucible, man. People are in there with no idea what to do. So if you want to just click some heads in competitive, that's really fun too.
And I've been enjoying myself doing competitive and stuff. Like I have guns I want to unlock and fuck around with.
Yep.
It's pretty great. So Destiny, man.
It's in a great place, and Shadowkeep has been amazing.
You're so happy.
He's
loving it, dude.
Cloud 9 right now.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, man.
You've
It's
come
great.
a long way with that.
It's
fucking
great.
game.
You should come back one
It
day
won't
too.
happen.
Should I get this jacket? Should I get this jacket, Trip?
I mean, I can't tell you how to spend your money. It's not cheap,
It's like
right?
150, right?
But it is 150, yeah, not including shipping.
I mean, it's kind of cool.
It's an accomplishment.
It's pretty cool. I might do it.
I'll be getting mine for sure.
I know, of course you are.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I wouldn't even.
I gotta flex, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta flex the EP.